Chelsea through with that win against Leicester. Leicester came flying out the traps, Craig, clearly well up for it. Chelsea resisted, got themselves back into the game. Big half-time substitutions from Lampard that in the end paid off.
Yeah, and I've just seen something, I don't know if true or not, that Lampard outed a few of them in the dressing room and said, you're not good enough to be wearing the Chelsea shirt with that kind of performance. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. Look, young Billy Gilmour had a poor first 45 minutes, but it's a learning curve for that young man. I'm not going to criticise a teenager because he got caught in the headlights a few times and Leicester did press them. Leicester's only problem, or the biggest problem, was their final third. They did not take advantage of that good play early on. You had Barnes missing opportunities. We had Vardy missing opportunities. We had Tielemans with some poor decision-making. And then Lampard rang the changes, and it was a different game altogether, and it was a fantastic finish from Barkley. And Chelsea have an opportunity to keep that great cup run that they've had over the last 15, 20 years going. The FA Cup has been big for them, and they now go into the semi-finals. Look, that was a tough game, going to Leicester, and they got away with it somewhat. He made all those changes, and they got taken to the cleaners for 25 minutes, but managed to come out somehow unscathed.
Christian Pulisic starting once again. A lot of eyes on him, obviously, at the moment. Kasey, Frank Lampard speaking about the young American ahead of this game, saying that he could become a goal scorer like your Mane's. He has got that ability to become a Sterling. Is that just all manager talk, or do you believe it?
No, I completely believe it. I mean, if you saw him just even again today, I thought he was Chelsea's best player for a majority of the match. And again, not only what he's able to do in setting up other players, but finding himself in goal-scoring opportunities. I mean, Schmeichel made a brilliant save, or he would have scored in that first half. So, I mean, it really is I think Pulisic, if he can stay healthy and continue to learn and get better, there's no question. I completely agree with Frank that the sky's the limit, and you've seen that, I think, through this season. Yes, it was a little stop-start, and he came in, scored some goals, injury issues, but now he looks to be back at full form. And his ability to just, on the turn, skate past the defender and create space for his team going forward and creating goal-scoring chances, not only for himself but his teammates, that's a rare gift. And like I said, sky's the limit.
Craig?
Yeah, I don't disagree. And honestly, I think, he's shown, he's got good pace. He's got very good balance and poise. He's already shown he can strike a very good ball. He's a good finisher. Saw that in the week when he took the opportunity that was presented to him by Manchester City. And look, you know me, Dad. I'm not just saying this because he's an American and we're an American network. Because I don't give a stuff. If I don't think a guy's going to be good enough, I'll say it. But clearly here we have an individual who's got a talent. Now, that's not going to give him a God-given right to be in the Chelsea side going forward. And listen, he knows that, right? But what Chelsea are going to have going forward is competition for spots in the team. So everyone's going to have to raise their game. And I think Pulisic, as we've gone through the season and after the lockdown, the 3 months or whatever it is, he's come back in again and he's starting to raise his game again. And Lampard took him off because I think he was carrying a little bit of an injury to the calf. He doesn't want to take any chances with this guy because he knows he's going to be a big player for them. He knows he's going to be a big option for him. And he also knows, and you pointed it out, that he's going to bring him potential goals. And that's huge for a manager. So, yeah, he's got a big future there, but he knows he has to play well. It's as simple as that.
We've heard Don talk about this, and Frank Lampard mentioned it as well in the week, talking about how he's very quietest player amongst the squad. Reading between the lines, because I can't imagine being quiet is necessarily a bad asset, what is Lampard getting at, Craig?
And in what point?
Just the fact that he's quiet, he's very shy, doesn't really, he's not outgoing in the locker room. I feel like people are trying to say something that maybe we can't read.
I think we're all reading too much into it. I think Frank Lampard was probably asked a question and he said, look, he's a quiet lad about the training ground. He keeps himself to himself. But I've said it, and I said when Don was on, a manager couldn't give a stuff if you're the loudmouth or you're the quiet guy. It's what happens in that 90 minutes plus on the field. Look, Kasey will have seen it and I've seen it. I've seen some great trainers during the week. Guys that train their backside off and are the best five-a-side players in the world, and they're giving all the big stuff, chipping away. And then come a Saturday when the 60,000 howling at you, they go into their shell. So it really matters not a jaw. I mean, so everybody's different. We can't all be like you, Daniel. You know, we can't all be the big mouth out there. So what's wrong with being quiet? I don't understand.
Coming from the ultimate shy man. Kay, so why bring it up? Why is it brought up at all?
No idea. Truly no idea. And like Craig said, I mean, you have all those different personalities within your locker room to begin with. You'll have the guys that are the gregarious, that are, cracking jokes, doing all kinds of things. And, and I've spent time with Christian, with the national team. And, he's a professional. He goes about, he does his job. I mean, I don't necessarily consider him, a complete introvert. I just don't think he's that guy that's going to be, particularly as a young player coming into a new side, that has that personality that's just going to completely try to take over a locker room. But to Craig's point, a manager wants just a guy that's going to perform for him week in and week out. And I think the key for Christian is going to be consistency. And if he can consistently put together the performances that he has in the last couple matches for Chelsea, then he's going to consistently find himself on the pitch. And it's a club that has resources, that has young talent coming through. And there's going to be a lot of competitions for those starting 11 spots. And you have to perform week in and week out. And if he's healthy and in the form that he's in right now, he'll find himself in the starting lineup more often than not.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.